Welcome to another wonderful commentary of a Red Faction speedrun featuring me, your host, Duane Jones, brought to you by the Red Faction Master Goober. Hello.
Hi there.
He's pushing the buttons. I'm just here to watch and scream. We are about to watch, let's see, I pulled it up somewhere, homard's most recent easy segmented run, which apparently takes place in like half an hour.
Yeah, it's 38 minutes, 55 seconds.
And 200 thousandths milliseconds, mini? I don't know.
Sure.
Okay, alright, let me, all my windows are moved around. Anyway, so this is homard's run, this is not our run. He would have been here to do commentary with us, but apparently he felt like his English skills were lacking. I don't know if that's true or not. Whether or not, whatever, homard, I'm excited to watch the run. And I'll be yelling at Goober throughout, like, "Oh, stop! No, let me see that again. What's going on?"
Yeah, and I'm excited to watch it again. I already watched it once, but this run is absolutely insane. And I'm very excited to be the person on this commentary who has already watched it. So I get to absorb Duane Jones being surprised and amazed and shitting his pants when he sees these brand new skips that are in this run. And this, to the best of my knowledge, is the very first full segmented run that a lot of these skips, especially a lot of the out-of-bounds skips, were featured in. So you're in for a treat. You gonna start?
I'm gonna start.
Let's go.
Okay. And the thing about I have not been watching or paying attention to many of the speedruns lately because they've all gotten hard, too difficult. Everyone's way better than me. The last run I did, the only run I did,
where do you think you're going?
That was 59 minutes and 15 seconds on Impossible. And since then, both Impossible and Easy have gone down significantly, and this is probably the most significant decrease we've seen so far.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Additional
Up till now, it's the same as the other runs. But yeah, when you did that run, I cut about 9.5 minutes off of yours when I did mine. Homard cut another, roughly, what was it, 8.5 minutes, I think, something like that, just shy of 9 minutes off of his previous easy segmented run. So this segmented run is the quickest Red Faction speed run, full game speed run of any type that has been done so far.
Is nobody doing like single segment really anymore?
Oh no, they are. They're just not this quick.
Wow. I'm assuming everything happening here is for a reason.
Yeah, everything happening here is for a reason. Everything happening here so far is pretty standard for most Red Faction runs. You just got, you know...
The way he did that water boost was like, it looked a little off to me.
Everything was normal about the water boost. It was just the position that he did it from.
Is this on, I already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Is this on Dash Faction or Pure Faction? I know it's Pure Faction because it said so at the beginning.
Yes, this is pure, and this is pure kind of for legacy reasons. Dash is the new standard, but with Pure Faction, the bugs introduced in Pure Faction honestly give us 2 additional skips that you don't have in Dash. The spawn errors, which we're going to talk about in depth later, and water boosting, which you saw a second ago.
Right, okay, yeah, because Dash fixes water boosting because it's not supposed to happen, and...
Yeah.
Okay.
In spawn errors in Dash Faction, either corrupt your save file or crash you.
Oh, wonderful. Who doesn't love a corrupted save file?
So that there, I'm not sure, Duane, if you were aware of that, but that's a new strat, I think, since the last time you saw it, where you shoot 2 rockets at that APC so you can fall down on the bridge, and then you don't die. Normally, if you fall down on the bridge, you die. There's just a quicker way to the big lift.
And why is he sitting there shooting those guys instead of just running into the lift?
Because there's a trigger when you go through the tunnel that brings the lift down. You don't actually need to hit the button.
Oh,
so he's just killing time until the lift comes down.
As opposed to if you come the other way, you have to hit the button.
You don't have to hit the button. There's a trigger for that as well. It's just further ahead. So it's quicker to do it this way because you hit the trigger sooner.
What? I always thought you had to hit the button to bring that elevator down.
Yeah, we all did, but turns out no.
Turns out it doesn't matter.
Turns out the button does absolutely nothing, actually.
Nice. That's some AAA game design. I've always hated that level change, just because
it's annoying.
The fog values change. Yeah, silver skull trade. Nice, nice, under the door.
Yeah, it's a geo skip that I used in my run, but Homard did it way cleaner. We're not into the crazy business yet. Yeah, we're not into the crazy new stuff yet. It's coming up.
No, this is
very
all old,
soon.
Yeah, this is all old school. This is not.
Yeah, this has all been pretty optimized already, actually. There actually technically was an out of bounds that you could have used in that level, but Homard timed it. It was the same speed as doing it the normal way, just way harder.
I remember this. I died on this ladder so many times as a kid when I first played this game. Just didn't understand what was happening.
All right, so we're about to get into the crazy stuff.
Drop your weapon.
Also love how on easy you can just ignore guards. I can't do that on impossible.
You're dead, traitor.
Okay, those are skips that just are on easy or fine because you have the rockets to do.
Yep. This here is less new, just like very impressive how cleanly he did it.
Code red alert.
Okay, I'm waiting, man. You said.
No, I know. It's literally as soon as he goes up this ladder. So far, it's been pretty standard. There may be new skips to be found at some point there, but it's pretty optimized.
You told me something good about right here.
There you go.
I am looking forward to this. I got my undies in a bunch, man. What the fuck is this? Well, you can't. What the fuck is that?
All right, so I've got to pause there.
What? What?
So yeah, that is the very first instance of Hotshot's out of bounds strategy. Essentially, Hotshot found that if you jam your face into a sharp corner, a sharp edge in this engine, and you quick save, quick glove spam while adjusting your positioning appropriately, it's a little tricky. You got to practice it a bit. Exactly, you got to aim at the corner in a certain way. You can glitch through the wall, and you can get out of bounds that way. And this works on the vast majority of sharp corners in the game. So this is going to be used extensively later. Right there, though, it cut out the entire pause area where you were in the bridge over the docking bay.
The forced scene where you watch the ship fly out, and,
yep.
and Hendrix, if only you'd been faster.
Yep.
Now you've been faster. Still doesn't matter.
Exactly. Hendrix doesn't even complain anymore. Yeah.
Can you go back? I want to see this again. So you walk up to the corner.
Alert. Intruder in registration.
And this was this kind of like inspired by the pushing. Okay, and he's out.
Corner. Yeah, and he also actually did a fall damage cancel as soon as he hit the ground there, so that he didn't die. And the reason for that is he's going to be doing a bunch of other out of bounds skips now in a second, and he needs health to be able to do a lot of them. There's also a water bruise coming up in a minute that you need a lot of health for.
How do you fall damage cancel?
Fall damage canceling in this engine is, well, sometimes you can't fully cancel it, you can just reduce it, but you can always do something as long as you have a corner. So, essentially, fall damage in the Red Faction engine isn't actually fall damage, it's just based on the velocity that you have when you hit a surface. It doesn't matter if you're going sideways, up, down, whatever. If you hit that surface with enough velocity, you're going to take damage. So, the way that the fall damage cancel works is if you hit an edge at the right angle, your collision sphere doesn't actually bang up against any flat geometry, so you don't take fall damage. Depending on your speed, you might take some. Yeah, I can show that again.
Yeah, give me that.
Yeah, so here you go. So hands on that edge there.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't take any damage as a result. Now, he's going to, just to keep playing this, he's going to do another out of bounds skip here and jump down on top of this door.
My brain.
And watch this.
Okay. All right, where are we? I forget where we are. Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm trying to remember how much that skips.
Well, so here,
Okay.
hang on, I went back a little too far. So when you go ahead, oops. when you go through this wall here, you jump down there on top of this door.
Oh, so you don't have to ride the elevator or fall down
Yes.
the elevator.
Exactly. You don't have to fall down the elevator. You don't have to walk down this big hallway. You just come out here. This is where there are 2 guards that spawned right before the big drone fight, but the guards don't spawn unless you go the
Yes.
normal way.
Okay. Interesting, because I remember somebody had shown me in Out of Bounds near that area early on.
It might have been
but-
that. Here, I'm going to pause for a
No,
second
but-
because this is one of the coolest skips in the game.
Okay, so, just to reminisce, like someone had shown me, I forget their name, it's on the YouTube comments of one of my videos, one of the elevators. The elevator that brings you down that floor right after the whole "if only you'd been faster" part. You can like get the elevator door to like close on you and it pushes you out of bounds in that area, and you could get into the same room that Homard is getting into. But I always ended up taking too much damage from fall stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah, a lot of damage from that. So here, I'm just going to explain very, very quickly the very first part of what's going on here. So he is geoing twice with these 2 rockets here. We'll play it. And then he is going to out of bounds through this corner here, which normally you wouldn't be able to jump down because you'll just die of fall damage. But if he bounces off of that geo region, or that geo hole there,
Oh my god.
he falls down on top of the big door that you had to blast through and can just jump through to the other side.
What? That's insane. So
Yeah.
the geoing, like, because the geo meshes, like they have whatever size and shape, but they extend into the out of bounds, like
Yes.
past where the
Yes.
game would normally be. Interesting.
Yeah, and then when he's out of bounds, he can jump off of the geometry that is in bounds while remaining out of bounds and jump way down and land on an edge to cancel most of the fall damage. Now, the reason why he needed so much health and armor before, and why this is so difficult and an impossible run, is because right here he's doing another water boost to save some time over what I did jumping around. Exactly.
Whoa! Whoa! That's huge. No,
Yeah.
you just die on Impossible.
Oh yeah, you just die on Impossible. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do that on Impossible, but that's why he needed all the health and armor. Because the water boost deals damage to you.
That's like the biggest one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's what she said. Okay, this is a weird, different route that I never took, and I still don't know which is. I feel like it must be faster because he's taking it.
Yeah. So basically what's going on here, if you, and this is actually an RTA viable strat, if you can, I think the recording here can see my my cursor, I hope so anyway. The normal route here, you have to go up around this walkway, and you have to go out a door that's back behind this big structure, and you go out into another map, and then jump into a vent shaft, and then you go to the vent area. This here, you're not supposed to be able to get through here, but if you geo this wall, the crater spills over into, or sorry, this rock wall, the crater spills over into the metal wall, and then you can jump into the metal wall, or through the metal wall rather, down into a different vent shaft than you're supposed to go into, cancel the fall damage with you when you land by landing on the edge, and now you just got into the vent system far quicker. You actually skipped an entire level.
Right. Okay.
Die, miner.
Okay. You come out a little lower.
You
still
do.
have
You
to
come
go
out a
up
little
here
lower.
and do this.
Yeah.
But
You have
it's
to
still
spend a little bit
definitely
more
faster.
time in the vent, but you skip an entire map, so, you know, an
Right.
extra, like, 5 seconds or whatever it is in the vent is way less than what you save.
Tell Eos we tried, but
I'll tell Eos you tried, man.
I won't. And when you see what Homard does to Eos later in the run, I don't think you'll be telling her anything anytime soon.
What? That sounds like I'm not going to be happy.
Oh, no, you're not at all.
Oh, I love that bounce. I could never
Yeah.
get that bounce.
That bounce is really, really difficult to get. I'm really impressed with Homard for doing that. I wasn't able to do that.
I've tried that because I remember like I did it like once randomly and was like, oh, so I know this is possible, and like was never able to get a good bounce on that ever again.
This is fairly standard. The only thing is here, this geo hole here, this is new.
Dead, traitor.
Okay, cool.
It's not that much faster. It saves like half a second or something, but, you know, everything counts.
about time.
I love that the geothermal plant basically just doesn't exist anymore. Oh, and this is probably way easier than doing what we did.
That is way easier. And yeah, it's the same thing. You just out of bounds through the corner there. That cuts out the most annoying thing by far in the segmented runs. Like, it took hours and hours and hours to do the editing for that area earlier, because you used to have to save and load while jamming your face into that wall north of 800 times, in a literal sense. I'm not actually exaggerating there. So that just cuts all of that out.
This makes me wonder, does fall damage like happen heavier when you're coming from out of bounds back inbounds? Because it seems like it does. Really?
Yeah, it's the same thing. The game doesn't care if you're inbounds for that.
It just seems it's like, man, he didn't fall that far, and like he gets.
It's because he fell on flat floor. We usually don't do that when we're speedrunning because we cancel as much as we can.
Look at that health. Look at that sub health. Wow. That was a little metal moment. Hail Satan.
Did you see what just happened?
No, I was too busy rocking. Go back. All I see is the number of the beast, man.
Well, yeah, but then he's going forward.
Okay, so he's moving forward. He moves backwards. And then he gets out and he's way farther. Hey, what?
Yeah, so that's a spawn error. So this is something that I think actually Homard was the one who originally found it. I think it might have been Danil, I'm not sure though. But either way, someone found a few months ago that in Pure Faction, again, this is a spawn error glitch, so it's only viable in Pure Faction and really only in segmented runs because it's way unreliable. It's frame perfect. You're not really going to be able to do it in an RTA run. You're going to waste way too much time. And it doesn't work in Dash at all. But in Pure Faction segmented runs, if you jam the quick save key while you are going through a level load event, if you save immediately before the level starts loading, you will get a corrupted save file and it will spawn you at the player start position in the map that you were in at the time. So what he does there is he goes forward in the sub into the second sub map, then he goes back toward the map that he just came out of to trigger the load and quick saves on that load.
To corrupt that and then put him forward to the player. Okay.
Yeah, so he goes to the player start position in the second submap, which is the map that we're in right now. The player start position in the second submap is in the middle of this cavern for some reason, which is significantly further ahead in the map than you were when you loaded into it. These skips technically work in any situation where you are going through a load level event. I don't think they work if the load level event is triggered by a button press, but outside of that, and that only happens like once, they work in everything. The thing is, whenever you do a spawn error, which is this is one of, it strips all your weapons. It respawns your player basically. So it respawns you with just a pistol and 100 health and 100 armor. So, and it puts you to the player start position, and the player start position in most maps is not really useful because it's not far ahead. So you technically can do it in most maps in the game. It's just there's only a select few where it's actually useful for you to do it, and you lose all your weapons, so you gotta do it. You gotta be careful when you do it, so that you don't lose the rockets that you need for anything.
That's crazy. So, and when you say frame perfect, 60 FPS, is that what we're playing on?
Normally, whenever I'm doing a spawn error like that, I'll do it on 30, just because it makes it easy. Segmented runs, based on the rules, you can switch back and forth between frame rates whenever you want between segments. So normally, whenever we're trying to trigger a spawn error, we'll do that on 30 FPS, but we'll do the rest of the run on whatever makes the most sense.
A couple months ago, wasn't it? This is probably more than a couple months ago. Someone found out like the ideal frame rate, like that actually ties in correctly with like the engine's timing or whatever.
Yeah, people were running at 55 for a long time. I know there are a lot of people who still run Pure Faction at 55 FPS, and the reason for that, to the best of my knowledge, is because it's kind of the sweet spot where cutscenes take longer. They actually take longer, time dilation, it messes up, everything gets out of sync. Cutscenes take longer the higher the frame rate you're at, so cutscenes are faster at 30 FPS, but the flamethrower won't work to kill nanotech shields, which you won't actually see in this run. The flamethrower won't work to kill nanotech shields on a low frame rate. Otherwise, you'd run the entire game at 30 and kill your eyes. But they won't work for a lot of the skips you need to do in RTA runs. So that's why people were running at 55 FPS, just because the flamethrower worked properly and you didn't lose a significant amount of time on the cutscenes. So that's why they were running at that. On Dash, you don't need to do that.
Dash is like timed correctly.
Yeah, Dash has fixed timers.
Over here. Got a monkey.
So you don't need to do that on Dash.
Put it on and keep it on. Give me your weapons. They're too bulky.
Yeah, put on that
You are
monkey suit.
authorized
Give them them
for
weapons.
entry to
Take the
this area.
silence business.
Yes,
Access
and here is
denied.
one of the 2 spots in the game where the game makes you lose your weapons. We voluntarily lose our weapons in some other places where we do spawn errors, but the game makes you lose your weapons in these 2 spots.
And another thing to make note of here, as I do in all of the commentaries,
Security breach in administration. Additional units
pistol, when he has the silencer on, he hasn't shot anybody yet, but you'll be able to notice that he fires more accurately with the silencer.
Security breach
Yeah,
in
no.
administration. Additional
That's, I mean, you keep saying that, and I think it does.
I have looked at the properties in the game personally. The values are identical.
The pistol with the silencer is more accurate.
Oh, I hear
I
ya.
can feel it. I got the feel.
I'll just explain really quickly there. Those were a couple of load warps. It's a pretty basic
damn it,
thing.
sorry.
If you've watched any, well, I didn't really focus on it because we've done it in all the other commentaries. The load warps essentially, when you press the button in the elevator, it puts a load level event essentially on a stack on a delay.
Will you go back and replay some of it?
Sure,
Maybe
yeah,
like it.
we'll
Can you
do
do
that.
like half speed?
I not easily.
Oh, come on. You're
so-
the master. Fine.
Yeah, here we go. So let me show you this. So when you go into the elevator, you press this button, and then you go out of the elevator, and you can go somewhere back into the map, and then when you load into the next map on that delayed level load trigger, it will load you into the new map in the position that you were in the old map when you loaded, not when you hit the button. So you can walk back out of the elevator and go to a different spot in the map to predict where you're gonna be when you teleport into the next map, and you save some time that way. So here, he ran out into this little cubicle area, ran out in this little cubicle area, which just happens to be the same spot as the bottom of this staircase, so he can warp ahead a little bit.
And you got to be nice and quick, otherwise the doors of the elevator will close.
Oh yeah, if
You
you're not
gotta get out.
extremely quick, they'll close on you.
Help! Help!
That little cleaning joint always reminds me of stuff from Perfect Dark.
Yeah, I hear you. And so there, same thing. He
It does
just,
the same thing.
yeah, he went out into the hall. Now, this is something that, Duane, I know you haven't seen before, so let's get
We're
your,
gonna
get
see
your
some
feedback.
cutscene skip. This is okay. You told me that Griffin isn't in the game anymore.
Yeah, Griffin got deleted. As of this run, Griffin just got deleted.
I
So
like it.
normally,
It's like the worst
you have to
part.
go into that office and kidnap Griffin, and he comes with you on a hostage mission. But now you can just clip through the wall here and not care about him.
And so he's walking just on the very outside of stuff.
Yep, he's walking on the outside of the map, glitching through that there, and there you go.
Wow. Wait, why is he? What's happening?
So this is one of the weirdest things in the entire game. I'm going to try to explain it, although I don't fully know how it works. So if you're watching
let me
this...
just okay. So he getting back inbounds isn't like nearly as hard as getting out.
Yes, getting back inbound, you just jump in.
Okay.
Here, it was a little more difficult there because there was a shelf that
Right, yeah,
he had
yeah,
to kind of glitch through. That's why he jumped a bunch of times to get in. But yeah, you can just jump through a wall, and it works fine. But this thing here, I'm going to try to explain it. So first, you load into the next map. So you press the door button here. You press this button here to load in. You can see the level load there. So you press that button, you load into the second map. Now we're in the second map. Now, he's going to go back through the level load trigger. He's going to save when he hits it.
He's walked backwards. Yeah, okay.
Yep. Save when he hits it to spawn error, same as in the sub area. So he goes to the player start position in the second map. I don't know why this happens on a technical level. So if you're watching this, in 2020 or beyond, because we're filming this in 2019, maybe there will be a known reason for this as of the time that you're watching it. So check on our Discord and ask me or ask someone else there, and maybe they'll know. But as of right now, we don't know exactly why this happens. But essentially, when you spawn error in this second map, you go into this state where you're not really in the level. You have 1 health and 0 armor. You have no ammo for the gun that you don't have. But if you fire, it fires
If
a
you press
remote
the shoot button.
It fires a remote charge, which looks really weird, and you can see messes with the geometry as it goes through. Then you have to quick save, quick load. Then you do it again. And if you quick save, quick load after that, you go into the map, normally, at the player start position.
So why aren't you at the player start position the first time you do it?
That's what we don't know. That's what we don't know. We don't know why it works that way. We just know that it does, and if you fire 2 remote charges and detonate them and quick save, quick load in between them, you will go to the player start position.
If you could see my face right now, my brow is furrowed. I have a very confused look on my face.
Believe me, I was way more confused than you when I first found that.
So this is the same. He's doing the same thing as he did earlier in the sub, to skip forward, but instead of skipping forward and just spawning at the player spawn, he spawns in this like purgatory of nothingness.
Yeah. Then two remote charges and quick save, quick load between them, and then he goes to the player start position.
Magic remote charges that you don't actually have.
Yep, and don't look like remote charges.
How do you know they're remote charges then?
Well, the sound. They make the sound of remote charges. I feel like that's because you have weapon ID like -1 and weapon ID 0 is the remote charges, so that's why it plays the sound, because it's the closest one. I don't know that for a fact, that's just my assumption.
Okay, crazy. And then force field skip, that's fine.
There actually was a cutscene there, which I'm
Wait,
gonna pause
what?
for a quick sec.
No,
Yeah.
wait. Well, I don't remember. Have I forgotten so much?
Probably. So you go through this here, you go through this spawn error, and then you go to the
call it
player
purgatory.
start. There you go. So when call it purgatory, yes, call it purgatory. And then he walks forward, which it was really difficult to see.
Yeah, because that's where the cutscene happens, and then Griffin like waves at the camera, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's Griffin."
Exactly. So when he gets out of purgatory, he walks forward into the cutscene trigger. Then he spawn errors again to skip the cutscene. So Griffin here is doing the cutscene while we are progressing in the map.
Nice.
Then while the cutscene is playing, we're going to force field skip, and the force field skip is the same as it's always been. You just jump into the force field, save as soon as you hit load, and you get on the other side of the force field.
It's kind of like the same thing as the water, as not the water boost, but like the door pushing and these corner pushes. It's like the force field skip. It's like if you're
Yeah, quick saving and quick loading does a lot of really strange things in this engine. And it's kind of interesting that all of those, actually the spawn errors as well, all of those are just reliant completely on the quick save, quick load system.
Alright, hopefully we've got like a minute or two of nothing crazy happening, because I want to... Oh, that was crazy. God damn it. I'm eating a taco. I wanted to talk about the tacos I got before we started this. And how I sat down with some frosty beverages and some tacos to watch this. But that, I guess I've said it now, so.
Well, there you go. I just had to rewind for a second. So, as you can probably tell, we're using the same out-of-bounds glitch there to glitch through the box that Griffin has to move for you for the secret door. Then there was another cutscene that was supposed to play when you went into the canyon. He also skipped that cutscene with a spawn error, and he spawned back at the top of the, or at the start of the map. Now he goes and glitches through it again, needing to pick up the grenades because we need to use them now in a second.
Wait, you didn't rewind. That just happened twice because he asked, what?
Yeah, I didn't rewind. He did it twice because...
Oh my god, my brain.
He had to go through it the first time to hit the cutscene trigger, then spawn error when hitting the cutscene trigger to skip the cutscene, then you go back to the player start, which is where you started from, then you go through here, and the second time, you've got to glitch through this box again, but you need to get the grenades first, because we need to use them now in a second. But
Could he not have gotten the grenades? You'd get them the first or second time. Right?
That's the thing. You have to get the grenades on the second time.
Oh, because when you spawn error, you lose your shit. Okay.
Exactly. You lose all your weapons when you spawn error. So we had to keep them there, not take them the first time, take them the second time so that we keep them.
That is some planning ahead. Planning ahead is always good. It's what I did today when at 9:30 in the morning I went to Taco Bell and ordered 10 tacos to go in preparation for this commentary.
There is a lot of weird shit going on here that I'm sure.
Oh, sorry. Yes, no, we're good. I saw it. I mean, now I'm just seeing like, yeah, you walk into corners, but
Yeah, it's just kind of taken for granted now. It's you can walk into corners and get out of the map. Why not? Yeah. But basically, normally in this area, you used to have to go into this room, kill the guards, hit 3 switches, and then let Griffin through on this door, and then race him into the elevator so you can go down. You can wait going down this huge elevator. It's this like cinematic music plays. You get into the Azir and you fly up and you get into the next map. But, as most other things in this game now, out-of-bounds skips are fun.
so he uses this edge. It's in the wall. And then you gotta find like that right little point to drop and then walk along. Okay, walk along the border. And then blindly jump. Oh my god!
So yes, if you
Woo!
if you jump there, you can jump down through the beams into this room, land holding your use key to enter the Azir, which cancels all your fall damage because you never actually hit the ground. You're in the vehicle before you would hit the ground. And
I
then
feel,
just
do you
fly up.
hold the use key, or would you
Or
just
sorry,
be doing
you-
like going like this? Like I'm like what would we do?
Yes, you don't hold it. Holding it wouldn't work. You spam it.
And then we got a beautiful flying section with upside down trees for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why Volition thought that looked good.
I always like this room because like once we figured out that it was almost like a puzzle, figuring out like who you had to kill to spawn to who to whatever to trigger the scene.
Yeah, because there's 4 specific guards you have to kill, which are the only ones that he killed, that spawn a 5th guard, and when you kill that 5th guard, it triggers the cutscene. So you just need to kill them specific people.
Oh no, you can't skip the combat, bro.
Well, he's skipping the combat.
He's gonna do it. Oh, that's cool how the shutter goes past the bounds. What? Boo! Boo!
So
Get out of here! Get out of here with this cheater shit!
So I mean, I don't need to explain the out of bounds skip for the like 50th time. It's the same thing. You go into the corner and you can get out of bounds. You jump down into the vent, which is under the map.
Labs. Additional units requested.
Homard, I love you.
I do as well.
Oh no, here we go again, getting into corner world.
Yeah, and I mean that only saved like 2 or 3 seconds, but it just looked awesome.
Hey man, 2 or 3 seconds. We gotta go fast. It's like Sonic, man. Sonic.
Security breach in science.
Jeez. Okay. And
Give up, miner.
what? What is shit? What the?
Your reaction is priceless. So, what's going on here?
I mean, like I'm drinking, but like not that much because not as like I'm watching this happening. Like, is this like? I look at my glass. I'm like, I've only had a few.
So, this here is an out of bounds skip. You're glitching through this corner like the rest of them. You jump into the hallway behind it.
Yep. Okay.
Now, you go through a
there's
level load.
here?
Yeah, you go
Okay.
through a level load. Then now you're in the second map now. You back up into the other one. You save. When the level load happens, you spawn error. You spawn at the player start position in the second map, which is at the bottom of the elevator. So you
Okay.
essentially just teleport to the bottom of the elevator.
Give up, miner. Hold it.
And that was the classic cutscene skip.
And you
go.
skip the cutscene, and now on the cutscene trigger, you can spawn error also.
Yes, you can spawn error as well on a cutscene trigger to skip the cutscene and go back to the spawn position.
And you can spawn error on load triggers.
Yep, level load
Okay.
and cutscene triggers.
God damn it.
Yeah, now, so for anyone counting, we're currently at 15 minutes and 51 seconds. And we are almost halfway through the game.
Don't mind me being quiet, guys. I'm just eating some more of this quesadilla while this is happening.
Yeah, and this here is the same as I had to do in my Impossible run, and the reason Homard has to do this here, well, actually, he geos in a slightly different position to what I did, but the reason why he has to go back for that rocket launcher is because normally, if you're not doing all of these spawn errors, like on RTA and PF, you would go up above the combot and get the rockets up there for the tunnel skip in the canyon, but because he's doing a bunch of spawn errors, he can't because you lose all your weapons. So here, he has to do the same thing that those were just some more water boosts, the same as before. He has to do the same thing that I did in the Impossible run, where he has to kill all of the guards in the Capek Caves area that have rocket launchers to take their rockets so that you have them for the canyon tunnel.
Those were nice water boosts. I like that it's like the first one he did. I was like, he ain't gonna make it. And I was like, oh, he's gonna do two. I get it.
Yeah, you can just chain water boosts together. It's pretty funny.
Ooh, there is a way, I swear. There's a deeper part of the water somewhere there.
Oh, there is. There 100% is. It's just it takes a little bit longer, and
Right,
on easy
right.
you didn't really need the health, so. On Impossible, I would not be jumping down there. That room's really annoying, as if you've watched any commentaries you've heard me explain before. You have to kill all three of those extremely tough white robots before you can open the door. And the bullets that they fire, or the, like, laser plasma shit that they fire, usually kills you in one hit.
Yeah.
So the room's really annoying.
Is that like the only place in the game, or at least in the run, that those enemies even exist?
It's the only place in the run. They exist in the combat area, actually, in like the back halls of the combat area.
Oh, right. Yep, I remember now.
But you never go there in the run, so. Same as the whale, actually, that you had to kill in the sub area. That exists in certain areas in the cave complex, but you never go there because you just waterproof past them.
Right.
Yeah. I'll just rewind real quick in case you haven't seen this part yet. Right here. I've explained this on the other commentaries, but that door closes quicker than you can get through, and you're supposed to go around, but if you just put one rocket into the edge there, you can just jump around the door.
Which, that was probably, I'm sure that was a developer like, hey, this is where you can really use that geomod technology, kids. There's a locked door, just blast around it.
Yeah, I expect that was one of the, like, token geomod moments in the campaign. As opposed to the canyon tunnel, which they definitely didn't expect you to do.
Right. And we're running and we're shooting Altor.
Yeah, this is pretty standard.
I would like to take this moment also to, put my hand up in solidarity with our friendly worker friend, Parker. Standing up for his rights and sticking it to the man. I'm a bit more socially woke than I was when I did my run. I didn't realize what an amazing labor figure Parker is in this game.
Yes, Parker is fighting for the workers. In fact, he appears to be the only worker fighting for the workers, because the rest of them just run into a room and get shot.
We all need a hero.
Yeah, he just happens to be the one that glitches through walls.
Give up, miner.
I'll actually take this time, because this is all pretty standard stuff. You're just going to jump down to this big rock snake and stuff. This is all pretty standard stuff from all the commentaries. I'm just going to take this moment to give a shout out to the Speedrun Discord, the Faction Files community Discord. If you're interested in Red Faction at all, or Red Faction speedrunning in particular, there's a invite link in the bottom left-hand corner of this video. I would very much encourage you to join our community. We try to be welcoming to everyone, and you will be welcome with us, so we hope to see you. And if you do come by because of the video, just put a message in the RF1 Speedrun channel and just and let us know, and we'll get you started out with speedrunning. Also, if you don't want to type out the invite link in the bottom left-hand corner, you can go to redfaction.chat in a web browser, and it'll link you to the same place.
That is www.redfaction.chat.
Yes. Yes, it is. On the World Wide Web. Now, I wanted to get all that talking out of the way before, because there's about to be some crazy shit happening that, Duane, you might want to put down your food for.
What? I don't want to... Okay, that's down. I'm fucking ready. I love that the corner's getting, like, riddled with bullets as he's... Whoa!
Miner!
Yeah!
Yeah, so, I mean, same thing as before. You're just using the out-of-bounds glitch to skip the elevator, but I think that's the first time that's been done. I actually didn't know that was possible until I watched this video for the first time. Homard kind of kept that one close to the chest. So that was cool.
The landing is so slick, too. That's what's...
Yeah. He canceled most of the fall damage on it, which was pretty impressive.
Please!
Prayers, Miner.
Oh, no way! So he's setting himself...
So I'm just, hang on, okay. Alright, so here you go. So he's throwing a grenade here. It feels like every time we do a commentary, there's a new way to do K-Pek. Yeah, so he does a geo there, so when he goes through, again, load warping, so he goes into the wall when he loads into the map, and then he can corner glitch to get out of bounds.
And he's still out. He's still out. Oh!
Yeah, that's half of it. So we could always get in here.
Right, I remember you saying that, like, if you could just get to, like, this door or whatever, you could...
Yeah, it's because you can get to the airlock, you just can't get into it until you corner glitch through it. So the same out of bounds glitch just deleted K-Pek from the run.
Nice.
Yeah, so
boom.
yeah, that was the like second boss fight in the game, and a hugely long cutscene. I think that cutscene's like 2.5 minutes or something. That just completely deleted from the run.
Yeah. So that was the same kind of deal as earlier in the office complex, where he like called the elevator's going to trigger the loading of the next level, so he puts himself in a weird place, so when the next level loads, it loads him in right into the corner he wants to start pushing through.
Yeah, exactly. It loads him into the corner just far enough into the map that he doesn't load in outside of the level boundaries, because if you load into a map out of bounds, your game crashes. And obviously that's not what you wanted. So he times it and positions himself so that he loads in the corner, but just barely in the map. So he just has to glitch through the last little tiny bit to get out of bounds. And then he can jump around the outside of the map, jump into the cavern, and then glitch through the airlock, and there you go. You just completely skip the K-Pek fight, all of the guards you have to fight in that area, the flamethrower to kill his shield, him dying, Eos coming through the door, and the cutscene.
Homard is French, right?
He is, yes.
Okay, I need to retract. I think I said très bon earlier. It should be très bien. Maybe? I don't know. I'm butchering it. I'm sorry.
Close enough.
I guarantee that his English is better than my French.
That's, yeah, completely true. I can confirm that. And yeah, this is the same tunnel skip as we've been doing for the last little while. Homard actually originally...
Wait, what? This isn't the song. I have never seen this.
You have actually. You had the exact same reaction in the commentary from.
We'll have to look at. I'll pull up the documents. But like as far as I know, I've never seen this before. I do things to my body that aren't good. So like I have a bad memory.
I think you actually had a similar reaction the last time I showed you.
Okay. So we're doing, it's the same, like, we always make a tunnel in this canyon, but we're just doing it in a weird place.
Yeah, we're doing it in
How did you do it here in your run? You'd be dead.
Well, no, I killed all the guards first. I had to snipe all of the guards before I could do this, which was very, very difficult, because the guards would kill you on impossible.
I love how much better Homard is at tunneling than I ever got. Like,
yeah. So the really impressive thing here for me is that he went through the caverns, the caves rather, the K-Pek caves, before he got the K-Pek, and he made sure that he had exactly the right amount of rockets to make that tunnel. Like, he used
That's
his
how you
last
gotta-
rocket for the
yep.
last hole.
That means good planning, good routing.
Absolutely. I was very, very impressed with that when I saw this.
I can't even, like, it's so hard to try and describe to people how difficult making those tunnels are, especially one with such a steep angle, such a steep vertical angle as that one.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
be
it's
able
easy
to-
to make the tunnel. It's just difficult to make one that you can walk up.
Yeah.
So this is all pretty standard. There's about to be something coming up here, though, that I don't think you've seen yet. I've recorded it already for my Impossible run, but I don't think you've seen this yet.
No. Elevator. Okay, see, this is like similar to like that's how I got out of bounds the other time when I did a thing. Not on this part, but like I knew that this could happen in elevators. It just never was useful. Oh, what is this? You
He's
can't
walking
walk
top
on
of
the
canyon.
ceiling? How is he walking on the fucking ceiling?
Because there's an invisible texture there that you can walk on top of.
Wait, could you always get up? Wait.
Go ahead.
Brain. Okay, so pause. Okay, so he rode the elevator door up out of bounds to get above this level,
Yeah, above this canyon. Yes.
above this canyon. So he's walking on like out of bounds space.
Technically it's in bounds, but yeah, basically it's out of bounds, yes.
And then he gets off of that space to land in, is that Nazir?
Yes, that's an Azir, which, there you go. So you can actually see that rock face above there. That was what you were walking on the invisible top of. This Azir actually exists here for a scripted sequence. When you're going up that elevator in the single player, like the way you're actually supposed to do it, there's a trigger that makes this Azir fly across the canyon. It's like this kind of like cinematic thing that they put in the game.
So you can see like, oh look, there's shit out here.
Yeah, you're never supposed to be able to get inside this Azir, which is why when you do it, actually, you'll notice it only has 50 health. Azirs have like 900 health in this game, but this one, for some reason, only has 50, but it never matters because you're never supposed to be able to get in it anyway.
Right, okay, so now he's in it. And now he's going back up on top of, okay, that's what I'm saying, is right
So
here.
he's flying out of bounds, and now he's... Okay, so
Why are you able to fly out of bounds? Only because you weren't supposed to be in that Azir in the first place?
Well, kind of. You weren't supposed to be in that Azir in the first place, and because you were never supposed to be in an Azir here, the developers didn't really care about completely deleting the ceiling out of this canyon. So you can go through the top of this canyon if you can fly. You can just get out of bounds that way.
Okay.
And so he goes out of bounds, he parks the Azir, which hovers, it just stays floating in midair. He parks the Azir, then he jumps out of the Azir, falling blind, like that you have to memorize the position on this, into the load level trigger on the side of the airlock here, which is the way you're supposed to go after you go up into the comm center and do a cutscene and all that kind of stuff, which just completely got deleted out of this run. He
Wait,
presses
is that like the big
trigger.
Merc fight comm center? Like,
Yeah, that's the one where you go up and turn the satellite dish and put the disc in.
And that's gone.
Yep, just completely deleted. And then he hits the load level trigger on the other side of the airlock, loading him into the next map. You actually completely skipped the wait for the airlock to open as well, because you're already outside of it.
We should have figured this out better, and we should have had me on camera for this. I am.
That would have been
If
good.
I was, oh man, you know how like a Korean like esports commentator looks after they cast like a big match. You know, their hair's all frazzled, their tie is undone. They're
I
like
got you,
sweaty.
Yeah, I got
That's how I'm
you. You
feeling.
should take a photo of yourself and send it to the Speedrun Discord and just tell everybody. But yeah, the other thing here that I'll say is also when you load into a map, if there's a vehicle right next to you in the same room that you're in, it'll be brought through the load level with you.
That's why I was wondering why the fuck is there a fucking Azir there?
He brought the Azir into this map with him. It's actually half in the ground because the place that it was in the previous map corresponds to halfway in the ground in this map. So he brought the Azir through with him, which means that you can use the Azir in this map.
You can't do that. This is bogus. This is so cool. This is so awesome.
I like how those turrets can still see you through the wall.
Yeah, they're like, hey, your shit doesn't fly here, buddy.
Exactly. They just can't shoot you through the wall. If those turrets had rail drivers that could shoot you through the wall, you'd be fucked. But yeah, so you do the same thing there. You fly the Azir out of the map here over to the other side of the airlock at the end of this map. You park the Azir. Now, in this case, you don't need the Azir in the next map. You could technically bring it through with you, but as you'll see when you load into the next map, it's too confined quarters to actually be able to use it. And you load into the next map here. The Azir would never fit through that door, so. The only problem with that is you don't have a rail driver at this point, which you usually do, so you can't do any of the cool, like, rail driver kills that you normally do in this area.
Okay, what kind of new garbage is going to happen here?
Oh, there's some new garbage. It doesn't happen yet. This here is actually one of the few times in Homar's run where there is dead space. It's because you're waiting for this tram to go down the tramway.
And as you've described before, this section, the game is actually moving around you, right?
Yes. There's a section of the exterior here, of the tunnel, that just kind of teleports back and forth. So you're just kind of staying in one spot for like 10 seconds or 15 seconds or whatever it is, and the tunnel is just like moving itself around you to make it look like you're going down a really long hallway. And he's doing the same thing here as I did. He just did it slightly differently to get the fusion there.
Die.
Hey, how you do that?
So...
What? Oh, okay, I thought...
I rewound.
Die.
Okay.
So there you go. So you can glitch
So
out of
we
the
knew
train.
that we could get out there.
Yes.
And how do you do that? Is it just like a save load?
No, so the way it works is that whenever the tram is speeding up or slowing down, you can press yourself up against the wall and quick save, quick load spam. But it has to be when it is speeding up or slowing down. If you do it when it's moving at a constant speed, it won't work. So you got to do it basically right as you leave the station, and then you can just glitch out of the tram.
Well, we never did that because we never had like a good reason to do it.
Yeah, we never had a way to get back in.
And so this is kind of an example of like you're not. If you see how fast Parker's moving, it's not because the game is moving around him, right?
Yes, exactly. Which you'll see now in a second. Actually, I think. So he's just burning these guards. You can see it actually at the end there. You can see where it's repeating. You can see that hard edge.
Yep.
Yeah. So he does something here a little different than what I did. I pressed myself into the tram that we were supposed to be on, but he pressed himself into this tram to do this. And if you do that, if you bounce off of the Merc tram here, this is quicker than doing it the way I did, where you're going on the player tram, and you can get up to this area here and load warp so that you're into that area before the next map loads. Same thing as the elevator glitches in the administrative area.
My brain is mush, dude. This is so good.
This here,
and there's our hero.
This may be the only
How are the
cutscene we
people?
do.
This one's for you, Mom.
This is for you, Mom. Cracks his knuckles in his glove.
And then pushes his fingers into the button.
30 seconds.
Out of my way, you.
Boop, 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 boop.
And then we just know.
Wait,
right out of there.
So does that just take you to a...
It puts you to the player start position, which is in the tram.
Why does it put you to a player start?
Because, alright, so after that's done, we're going to go over here, we're going to add a bound skip here, and the out of bounds skips actually have another use. In addition to being able to walk out of bounds and get into other areas of the map, if you save in Pure Faction, in Dash Faction this crashes, but in Pure Faction, if you save the game while you are out of bounds, it corrupts your save file the same as the cutscene skips, the same as the other spawn errors when you go through a level load trigger, and you spawn error. So you spawn back at the player start start position in the map if you hit the quick save button while your character is out of bounds. That's also why all of the other out of bounds segments, you might have noticed it looked like he was moving a little slow when he was out of bounds. The reason for that is you need to be careful because you can't save when you're out of bounds. So all of the out of bounds sections have to be done in one segment.
Wait, so just like hitting quick save will respawn you somewhere?
Well, no, I mean if you load that save.
Okay, I'm just being clear. I'm just for the clarity of language here. Like,
Yeah,
you can you can quick save while you're out of bounds.
Oh, sure, but if you load
Nothing will
that
happen.
quick save, it's
But
if
yeah,
you,
if you try and load
the
it.
quick save, yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so there you go. So he just loaded, or he saved while he was out of bounds, loaded.
And that the player position is the area where you have to get back is getting back into the tram.
Exactly, yes.
And now it doesn't matter where you are because
4,
Yeah, it makes no difference where you are because when the tram reaches the end of the thing, it loads you into the next map. So he just glitched out of the tram there just for something to do because it looked cool. This here is the same as before.
Yep, just running. Oh man, he's only got 9 minutes and 41 seconds.
Yeah, the run is going to be finished in
About
11
that
minutes.
Yeah.
I bet Masako, when she was taunting him throughout all of this, didn't realize that she would be dead in like 8 minutes. Yeah, so there's not really a whole lot to talk about here. This is you're walking through a canyon, you're going up these canyon walls to avoid some triggers that spawn more mercs. On easy, you're basically ignoring all the enemies because they barely ever hit you, and if they happen to hit you with a rail driver and kill you, you can just segment. So there you go.
How often does that happen on easy?
Not super
very
often on easy. On impossible, it happens all the time.
Halt or die.
Still, I feel like maybe it's just because we got so good at it, but I feel like when I played this game casually as a young man, I would get hit by rail drivers on easy more often than I would by rail drivers when I was speedrunning it on impossible.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that. The mercs are like their aiming is delayed very, very, very slightly. So if you're kind of dodging back and forth, it's very rare for them to hit you. But if you're just walking in a straight line at them, they're probably going to hit you. I love how that guy's just like holding a giant machine gun right at you from 5 feet away and didn't hit once. He is the worst shot ever.
Well, that's why they put him there. They're like, all you have to do is stand behind this rock, and when the red dude, the dude in the red, when he comes by, you just wait here. You wait for him, and you have to hit him. And he still didn't.
That guy really should be fired.
Or maybe he was doing us a favor because Parker is our red savior.
Yeah, he was working for us. This here is the same as it's always been, really. That rail merc there is scripted to shoot you as soon as you run him around the corner. He usually hits you.
Yep.
And that guy just hit you in the face with a fusion. On easy, getting hit in the face with a fusion doesn't matter that much. This here is kind of another load warp. Homard does a spawn error here.
Spawn error.
But he really only does it to get a heavy machine gun, because you're going to be, after that level load trigger is put on a delay anyway, you're going to the space station.
Oh, that's why he doesn't have to do anything else. It just brings him back to the space station.
Yeah. He, I believe that was the cutscene to go to the space station that he skipped with that spawn error. And use that time to get a heavy machine gun. Now, you still have to go through and destroy the reactor. You still have to go through and destroy the reactor because the trigger at the bottom of the thing that allows you to go back to Earth is only active when the reactor is destroyed.
For now.
Yes. Yes, hopefully at the time that you're watching this commentary, that
Yeah,
will
look
be
at
fixed.
this shit. Where's he going? Oh, down to the very bottom.
Almost. You just skip that entire map.
Reactor overload in 45 seconds.
Wait. So, I'm forgetting what you have to do in the space station.
So
You have to go to this-
normally you have to kill the reactor. You have to press those two buttons to kill the reactor. It puts this timer up here, and that's to reactor core overload. You then have to go up stairs, or up this ladder here.
Yeah.
Up this ladder right here, to the security station and open the door to the escape pod bay.
Oh, and I always did that backwards because I didn't know the order.
Well, you had
of
to do
those.
it backwards on Impossible, actually, because there's not enough time to...
Right, you get less
do that.
time.
Yeah, you get less time on Impossible.
Okay, so those are the only two things you actually have to do inside the...
Yes, but...
But
it's,
if you do this...
Yeah, it's the door behind you here that doesn't open until you hit the escape pod hatch. So if you out of bounds here and you jump down into this hallway here, you just skip the fact that the door is locked and you never need to go
Wait,
hit that
which
button.
door is locked?
Well, the button, like, to the bottom of the screen here, the door that goes into this hallway that you're falling into.
Oh, okay. So we can't even see the door that's locked.
Nah, you can't see the door. The door behind you was locked. So you can just
Okay.
jump ahead of that.
Reactor overload in 45 seconds.
Damn, that's so good. That's so great.
And, oh, sorry, I lied. I think this is the second cutscene in the entire game.
Escape pod number 2.
What would happen if you tried to skip this one?
You can, but you soft lock your game.
3, 2.
The way that they did this cutscene is really weird. It's in its own map, and it's weird. I've done it. You can skip it, but you soft lock your game. You just get stuck on the space station, and you can never leave.
You will never leave.
That was their backup plan.
Yeah.
Got you, miner.
This here, you're just running by this again. You're picking up a rocket launcher from your deceased friend.
Thank you, comrade. What?
Same thing that was ahead here a little bit. Same thing. There's a level load trigger up here. So you go through into the second map, then you back up to go through the level load trigger again.
Wait. So loaded, now goes back in, and then...
Hit save
Oh,
at
just
the
as a
other
way to
level
get
load
forward.
trigger. Exactly. And then you get teleported further ahead in the map. And you lose all your weapons, but it doesn't matter, because you don't need them, and you're about to lose them all when you go to jail anyway, so...
Merc Jail. Coming this fall on Adult Swim.
Their area is actually really good to do spawn errors in, because you're about to lose all your weapons anyway, so you really... There's no reason to not spawn error. Even if it's going to save like half a second, there's no reason not to. Which is why he does it again right there.
How much farther? Is it just saved? It's just like that little now.
Yeah, it saves... Because normally you jump down from here. I timed it one time, I think it's like 1 second, or like almost a second faster to do the spawn error. But again...
Okay, yeah, that's
You
a
know,
second.
you're segmented, so it doesn't take any time to do it, and you don't need your weapons anyway, so you might as well. Now, on Impossible, this area sucked because I had to kill these mercs and these turrets with only a pistol after spawn erroring. But on Easy, you just walk past them.
Well, did you put the silencer on? That would make it easier.
I hate you.
Evacuation notice. All companies prepare for loading.
Hey man,
evac
maybe it's just like a
transports.
confidence thing too. Like when I've got that silencer on, I feel my aim.
That silencer makes you feel like a real man, doesn't it?
It does.
And now you go to prison. They gas you and send you to prison.
Hey,
I wouldn't say
you
you
awake
send you
over
to
there?
prison. I would feel more like you are imprisoned.
There you
You
go.
were a sight when they brought you in.
This is
All blood
totally
and
not a
pure.
Half-Life ripoff at all.
The medics worked you over and cleaned you up.
You know how I know?
Don't know why they bothered. They're just gonna kill
How
us
do you
all
know?
anyway.
Because it's the mercs doing it, not the
Something big
Marines.
is happening. Lots of mercs running around, moving stuff. Don't know what it
Okay,
is.
what's
but
happening?
I bet
Red faction.
Oh, that's how you know it's not Half-Life?
Yeah.
Oh, because he tells you Red Faction.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically it. So he's just... There you go. He's just not getting any
load,
weapons.
yep.
until he goes through the load warp in the elevator, and then he brings through the weapons from the other map, so he gets a heavy machine gun.
Evacuation notice. E company should now be in that transport.
Pew, pew.
So, miners!
The good old start shooting before the door opens. And you will notice something there. He did not take a flamethrower. Normally we need to take a flamethrower from a
Right,
for
to
the Bazako
bust
shield.
bust that nanotech shield.
Evacuation notice.
Now coming up here is some of
Should
the
now be in
trickiest
transport.
planning in the entire run. This is something that I was helping him with the other day, so I can help explain this. Basically, each one of those two rails there kills 2 mercs. The way
Yes, that's even how. Yeah.
Yeah, so the way that this area is set up is you need to wait for Hendrix to get out of the elevator that you started the map in. When Hendrix comes down to this area, 2 mercs spawn on the opposite side of this door that you can see. When those 2 mercs die, Hendrix moves past this door. Then the next door opens. After the next door, there are 2 ceiling turrets and 4 mercs. What we are doing here is we are killing all 4 of those mercs in the second room. And now, this next one here, he's going to look up at the exact angle and kill one of the ceiling turrets. Really important to
Nice.
only kill one of them. Then he's going to come back in here,
Code red alert.
and he's going to
Generator-
rail, or he's going to wait for these 2 mercs to spawn on the opposite side of the door. Be ready for them. And that was the second turret. Now, the reason why he had to do it in that order is because if you kill... Because technically you can kill all 2 of the ceiling turrets and 4 mercs before Hendrix even gets to that point. But if you do that, you soft lock your game. Because when all 6 of those entities are dead, the 2 turrets and the 4 mercs, that's what triggers Hendrix to walk into this room.
Wait, so how does that soft lock?
It's soft lock because Hendrix will never walk into this room here. And Hendrix walking into this room and going over to this electric panel, which is where he's going, that's what loads the next map. That's what opens
Oh,
this
so if you
door.
kill them before Hendrix is in like the second room,
Yeah,
he won't. Okay.
exactly. If you kill all 6 of those before you kill the other 2 that haven't spawned at that point, then Hendrix will just go to the first set of doors. Or after the first set of doors. He'll never go past that.
Okay, that's super cool because like I did something similar even in the old run, killing like a couple of guards before all this, but
Yeah.
not as cool as this. This is way better.
Exactly. Then you had to kill the ceiling turrets after you went through the other door. But the way
Yeah,
that
because I
this
just
is
didn't think
done...
about.
Yeah, the way
I
that
didn't even
this
think
is
about
done...
being able to shoot them through the, like, through the wall.
Exactly. But you can with the rail driver, you just can't see them because they don't have thermal signatures, so they don't show up on the scanner. But if you know where they are, you can still shoot them because the rail goes through everything.
Which I should have thought about, but it never, like, it never came in
Yeah.
my brain.
Exactly. And, yeah, so if you shoot one ceiling turret then, and then you shoot the second ceiling turret after you kill the mercs, then you basically skip the time for you to jump around and go out the door, because when you do it this way, Hendrix is already halfway through the room by the time you get to him.
Yep. Sweet.
Yeah. Now, this is the last chapter of the game that's about to get started. Get ready for it.
All right, he's running along the edge. Living life on the edge. I just wrote that song right now.
Nice. You should collect some royalty checks from the 80s.
It's called Living Life on the Edge.
Gotcha.
Evacuation notice. B company should now be
So
in
he is
that
just
transport.
jumping around the entire map here, staying out of bounds the whole time.
Just like, oh, I could feel my toes curled on that corner as he jumped. I was just like,
Got you, miner!
So you just skipped a lot of time there, because you didn't have to wait for a door to open, you didn't have to wait for you to walk around this platform and go up and press a button. You just glitched out of the map, jumped up into the vent, and you're right in front of the button.
And the only reason he's fighting these people is for fun, because right now he's just waiting for these here.
Oh yeah. Do you notice that he didn't take out a flamethrower?
Yes, I noticed. I know that something new is happening.
Evacuation notice. A company should
And
now
I'm
be in
totally
that
not
transport.
upset about it. Don't you dare. No! What the fuck? Turn this shit off! Turn it off. Get me out.
Yeah, so pretty much the coolest skip in the entire game happens at the very end.
You can't be serious. You cannot be serious.
Park Misako said.
And that's like, okay, still got a couple more to go. I was like, that's like the... Wow, what a bomb. What a bomb. Right down, up, right. Like...
Yeah, he really hit gold on that bomb. But this here, this ending segment makes me so happy. Because, and honestly, if you haven't run this game or played it before, you might not appreciate this quite as much as
This is bullshit.
Duane and I
Go back
do.
to where he gets out of bounds. Just so I can watch this and oh my god. It's so perfect. Like it's like it was meant to be.
Yeah, and this lets you skip that entire area with all that combat, that room, this hallway. You're supposed to be zigzagging down this. You're supposed to go in that door right there. You're supposed to fight 2 enemy Azirs right here. When you do that, Misako comes up on her Azir right here, plays a cutscene, then you have the battle with her where you have to do all this tech to kill her nanotech shield and then rail her, and then hit the button to go down the lift and then go over to Eos. But you can just glitch the Azir through the wall and fly to Eos.
Alright, let's see this puzzle one more time.
Park Misako said.
And he gets it on the 4th try. That sucks so much.
Yeah, so
I could just see it though, good, like, okay, right, and you're like, oh, sweet, it's right, something. So now I have a 1 out of 3 chance of getting it right next time.
Yeah, just saying, whichever mercs armed this nuke and put this as the defuse code really should have been fired as much as that guy that couldn't hit you with the HMG, because this is the dumbest defuse code.
And that's it.
That's the run. That's the 38 minutes and 55 second
Oh my
record for an
God.
easy segmented run in Pure Faction. Set by the wonderful Homard, who is awesome. And yeah. So I'll just give another shout out real quick to the Faction Files Discord and the Red Faction Speedrun community on the Faction Files Discord. If you're at all interested in Red Faction speedrunning or Red Faction in general, any Red Faction games for that matter, we support them all. Join the Red Faction community. The Discord link is in the bottom left-hand corner of this video. You can also open redfaction.chat in a web browser, and it'll go to the same place. And that was my shout out.
I have some closing thoughts.
That's a good closing thought.
No, this is so. First, shout out to. Congratulations to Homard, because he's the one who did this run. And this is the most amazing. Not only one of the most enjoyable speedruns I've watched in a long time, but obviously the best Red Faction one ever. Period. This is currently. Correct me if I'm wrong, Goober. This is currently the best Red Faction speedrun ever.
No, you're completely correct.
And it looks like it. And it fucking looks like it is too. You know, what I'm trying to say? Not only is it the best one, it looks like it's the best. This is shout outs and thank yous and to everybody that has found all this new stuff. I know that just Homard didn't find all this stuff. Just Goober didn't find all this stuff. But
I'll give a I'll give a shout out specifically to Hotshot. He's kind of the king of finding weird skips. He found this whole out of bounds thing, which basically single-handedly cut out every boss in the game.
When I finished my run of this game, I was I'm sure it'll get cut down eventually. But outside of finding weird, dumb skips, the game's never going to get super quick because there's just we can't skip cutscenes. Oh, we can't get out of bounds. Oh, we can't wrong warp, and all of those things in the 4 years since I did the Impossible run. And I'll straight be honest, I feel like the godfather of this game. I'll be honest. I won't try and be I'm not trying to be prideful, but I feel like somebody else may have come along. But if I hadn't come along and spurred some interest in this and gotten these guys' attention, I'm glad that I did it, because now the stuff that you guys are doing in this game is stuff that I could never do. So I'm glad that people liked it enough to be putting work into it. And if Goober, if you can go back and just play that last segment with after he gets the Azir out of bounds, like as he's getting the Azir out of bounds. This is what I wanted. Like this perfectly illustrates
A company should now
as
be
he
in
goes
evac
down here,
transports.
pushes himself out of bounds. As you fly here and you see the level around you and you're just scooting past it, this is what I wanted to happen to this game, and it finally has, and I'm so happy. I am proud, I am honored, I'm excited. Like, look at this. This is the kind of legit shit that
Park Misako City.
that I didn't think was actually possible. And y'all did it, and Homard did it, and thumbs up. That's all I've wanted this whole time. I'm so happy.
Well, I mean, I'll give a shout out to you, because if it wasn't for you starting that run and making that dumb post on Faction Files, like forever ago, looking for strats, I never would have started speedrunning this game. So thank you for that. I think the game has come a long way in the past 5 years or 4 years as a speedrun game. Well, even before that, but I mean, I've been involved with it for that long. It's a pretty awesome game to speedrun. I encourage anybody who is interested in speedrunning to give it a shot, to check out some of the other runs. Actually, if you want a fun academic exercise, I did this the other day. Watch the commentary that we did on Duane's original, like, 59-minute run. The contrast... The contrast between what we were talking about then and what we thought was possible then, like 3.5 years ago or whatever it was, versus now is astounding. And I'm sure you will appreciate that if you like commentary speedrun videos. So there you go. With that, do you have any additional thoughts, Duane?
Nope, that's it. I've said it all. Homard, amazing run. Everybody else that contributes to this game, you guys are all awesome, and I am honored and proud to still be part of the community, even though I'm too old and lazy to put in any actual work anymore. But I love watching it, and I love what has become of this game.
Awesome. Well, with that, thanks everyone for watching. I'll give the mandatory subscribe to my channel if you want additional Red Faction content, speedrun content. Join the Faction Files community Discord with the invite link in the bottom left-hand corner. You want to talk about Red Faction speedruns or anything else to do with the Red Faction series. We hope to see you there, and I'm sure we'll be doing another commentary at some point, so we will see you then. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.